Alright, welcome to Season 2 of Leave Me Alone, the Antisocial podcast. Yes, Season 2. We made it. Somehow. And just to set the expectations early, as I'm recording this, I'm super sick. Blocked nose, low energy, voice doing whatever it wants. So if I sound a bit rough, a bit slower, or like I might need to pause to cut off mid-thought, that's not a vibe, that's an illness. Great start to the season. If this is your first time here, hello, welcome. This is a safe space for people who like their lives calm, their plans loose, and their social battery respected. And if you're back again, thank you. Genuinely, the fact there is a season 2 and that you're here listening, honestly means more than you probably realise. Before we get into it, you can follow the podcast if you want. No pressure, no hard sell, just a gentle, hey, if this makes you laugh or slightly feel less alone, it helps. Okay, so it's January, season 2. I'm sick, and honestly, I'm kind of proud of us for getting here. December is a lot. Not bad, just a lot. So much noise, so much expectations, so many things happening all at once. You spend the whole month moving from one thing to the next, holding it together, telling yourself you'll rest after. And January, well, it feels a lot quieter, slower. It's the month where you're allowed to check in with yourself and go, all right, what do I actually need right now? Not in a big life-changing way, just in a very human way. So if you're listening to this feeling a bit tired, a bit foggy, or like you're not quite back into the swing of things yet, you're not doing it wrong. You're just arriving. And that's kind of what this episode is about. Because January isn't about big resets, it's about noticing where you're at after everything. What stuck, what drained you, what surprised you, and for me, a lot of that showed up in the smallest places this year. Not the big dramatic moments, but the quiet, everyday ones that somehow ended up meaning the most. Like, this was our first year doing Elf on a Shelf with our son. Our first, which means, realistically, we've probably signed up for about 12 more years of this tradition. And on paper, it's such a small thing, a silly little Christmas tradition, a tiny plastic elf. But it turns out those are the moments that really mark time. Because listen, the elf was fun, exhausting, yes, chaotic, absolutely, but fun. Because here's the part they don't tell you about the elf. It's not just magic, it's commitment. A tiny plastic reminder that pops up into your head every night at 11:47 p.m. Nothing bonds two parents quite like bolting upright in bed whispering, "Did you move the elf?" And then immediately having to create a brand new whimsical scenario using half a roll of toilet paper, one spoon, and a surprising amount of teamwork. By the end of December, that elf had lived a full life, hanging from the curtain rods, face down in cereal, suspiciously close to the wine, and now it's over. The elf is gently packed away, up in the loft, resting, recovering, before it returns in 11 months with the exact same chaotic energy. But then our son said, "Bye elf, see you next year." And yeah, that's when it really landed. We're in it now, and honestly, I wouldn't change it. And then, on the 20th of December, when I really should have been slowing down, I went to London. Yes, London, in December, on purpose. We wake up early, we're leaving at 8 a.m, and my anxiety already through the roof, because if you're an anxious person, you know this phase, where your brain goes, statistically, you'll probably be fine, but what if today is the day you die? World events are happening, the news exists, and my brain is like, just so you know, this could be it. Anyway, we drive down, easy enough. Our son is an absolute dream, chilling in the back like he's on a spa retreat. Meanwhile, I'm mentally writing my will at every roundabout. We get there, park up, hotel is lovely. Directly opposite the hotel, police cars, a forensic team, everyone in those little white suits, and apparently somebody had been stabbed, which according to the news is fairly standard for London. But my panic mode, fully activated, like great, perfect, love this energy. But anyway, we check in, room's gorgeous, everything's fine. So we're like, let's get a coffee, regroup the team, because that's what parents say, you know, when we're one inconvenience away from crying. Then we head on down to the tube, the dreaded tube. I hate the tube. It's loud, it's busy, and I'm on high alert in case someone comes running through the carriage with a knife. I know, dramatic, but hey, that's anxiety. Doesn't care about logic. It thrives on vibes. So, it's 12 stops, 12, and I'm standing there like I'm guarding my family, screening every single face like, are you normal? Are you safe? Are you about to ruin my day? We get there, alive, a miracle, and we go to see Bluey's big play. I went in thinking, this is for my child. I came out thinking, why am I crying over a cartoon dog days before Christmas? Because Bluey doesn't play fair. Bluey said, here's a fun family show, and here's a lesson about time passing and your child growing up. Rude. Our son loved it. Absolutely buzzing he was. The theatre, packed, screaming kids, everywhere. Honestly, I respect the noise level now. They were just matching my internal state. Afterwards, we headed to a little Christmas market just outside. I get a beer, we try to relax, and then our son has a meltdown, which is fair. I also was having a meltdown. I was just hiding it better. There was people pushing, standard, walking literally on top of me. No one apologises. And can we talk about London and pushchairs? Nowhere has ramps. Nowhere. It's just stairs. Forever. I've done a full workout lifting that pushchair up and down steps. My arms were shaking like I'd just joined a CrossFit against my will. We walked past the London Eye. Very magical, very festive. And then we head back to the Tube. And this is where it all kicked off. I'm trying to put the pushchair down so we can get onto the Tube, effectively, politely, with the urgency of someone who knows London will absolutely leave you behind without remorse. I'm already sweating, the alarms are beeping, my brain is doing maths that it's never done before, and then, out of absolutely nowhere, this old lady with a cane chooses violence. Immediate violence. She hits me on the back, not a tap, a statement. Then she pushes me, and suddenly time slows down and my brain goes, oh, this is the moment, this is how we die, on the Tube in December, over a pushchair. Because I'm half turned, holding the pushchair, my child is right there, and London is doing that thing where no one helps, they just stare and judge your technique. She nearly knocks me and my child straight onto the tracks. And I'm stuck in the internal debate anxious people know well. Should I say something? But she's old. But also my child. But also, I don't want to be on the news. And then, my wife. Instantly feral. No build-up, no warning, straight into protective mode. She's shouting, she's blocking, she's physically positioning herself between us like she's trained for this moment her entire life. Honestly, I've never felt more loved. People are staring, the Tube is arriving, there's chaos everywhere, and I'm just there like, sorry to everyone, for everything, for existing. We finally get on the Tube, adrenaline absolutely pumping, pretending this is a totally normal family outing. And I'm standing there thinking, so anyway, this is exactly why I don't leave the house. But also, this is why I married her. Because when it comes down to it, I panic, she protects. We survive. Honestly, 10-10, no notes. We get on the Tube, we survive, again. Back to the hotel, and this is the part anxious people will understand. The danger is over, everything is fine, and suddenly your body goes, now we collapse. I'm shaking, full anxiety come down, that weird state where you feel anxious, emotional, slightly unreal, like your nervous system just ran a marathon and didn't stretch, and all I want is food, silence, and to stare at a wall. And then Christmas happened, which is another event entirely, and now it's January, and people are like, so what are your plans for the new year? Plans? Mentally, I'm still on the Tube performing, trying to regulate my breathing. January is not the time to ask me about my ambition. January is a time to ask me if I've eaten something warm. I'm not reinventing myself, I'm preparing myself. This is the month of beige food, the same hoodie for 7 days, cancelling plans without guilt. So if you see me in January and I look unmotivated, I promise you, I am simply resetting. We don't need vision boards, we need naps and fewer emails. If you're listening to this and thinking, I already feel behind, you're not behind, it's January. We're all just emotionally unpacking December. We made it, and now respectfully, please leave me alone.